I am the one and only Eagle Double T. In this video, I'm going to be comparing the Nintendo GameCube to the N64. So, let's begin. Round 1, controller. Now, the N64 controller, it really is pretty comfortable. I mean, it's not really that bad. I mean, the joystick isn't that good, and 3 handles does make it kind of awkward. But, when it comes to comfort, it's actually a really comfortable controller. The gamepad is wonderful. A simple start button. Buttons are really nice buttons, but then you have these awkward C buttons. In the GameCube, you have a C stick, joystick, so that's really nice. The main joystick is, it's really good. I mean, your fingers don't slide off it all that much. There's, no dead center in it. And the, the rigid lines are actually, pretty helpful. While the N64, its joystick just isn't as good. The gamepad on the GameCube, it's great, but it's a little bit small. The N64 has a much bigger one. The trigger on the N64, just simple button triggers, while the GameCube has those classic triggers that just melt right into your hand. The GameCube also takes on, a different style, it's more up and down, and it, fits into your, the side of your hand, the palm. It's a really unique controller. Both the controllers are very unique. Round 1 goes to the GameCube for having one of the most beloved controllers of all time. Round 2, features. The N64, really its main features are the fact that it was the first console to come out with 4 controller ports, and the controller, the memory cards went, into the controller, and you could also put in a rumble pack. But, really, for the N64, that was about it. And, it also had memory expansion, 8 megabytes of RAM, compared to the PlayStation's 2. So, the N64 is definitely better. The GameCube has, smaller memory cards that just plug into the console, which, plugging it into the controller is nice. I prefer the simple memory cards that go into the console. It came out with a wireless Wavebird, which, Wavebird's just awesome. I mean, it's wireless. It was the first wireless controller on a mainstream console. So, that was a really nice feature, having no cords. It had the best feature of all, the Game Boy player. There were ports on the bottom. You simply slap it on, and you can play any Game Boy game ever. Any of them. So, that was definitely a really, really nice feature that the GameCube had. And the wireless Wavebird was great. But the N64, had a lot of RAM, and the controller rumble pack was pretty cool. Round 2 has to go to the GameCube because it had a wireless controller and the Game Boy player. Round 3, durability. The GameCube is an extremely durable console. I mean, it's built really, really solid. I mean, it's just well-performing piece of equipment that's going to last you a long time. This is really strong. I can lift it by the hood. So it's a really good-built console. But it does have internal moving parts. The N64 does not. Which, right there, if something is knocked loose in the GameCube and it's a moving part, it could screw up your whole console. Well, the N64, it's pretty much virtually indestructible unless you tear your console completely in half. The N64 also makes no noise when it is on. The GameCube does. While the GameCube doesn't make a whole lot of noise, it is really nice having no noise, less annoying. The N64 wins round 3 in terms of build quality. Round 4. Consoles competitor and consoles sold. The GameCube sold 21 million units, while the N64 sold roughly 33 million. So, the N64 had better sales than the GameCube. And with that in mind, the N64 sold 33 million, and the PlayStation sold 100 million. The PS2 sold 157 million, and the GameCube sold 21 million. So, the N64 was closer to the original PlayStation in sales. The N64 wins round 4 because it was more on par with its competitor, and sold much more than the GameCube. Round 5. Games. Now, the N64 came out with tons of classic titles that are still loved to this day, like Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Legend of Zelda, tons of great games that you'll remember, as well as GoldenEye, the 007 games, Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong Racing, tons of great racing games. While the GameCube had Resident Evil 4, which was originally released on the GameCube, Super Mario Sunshine, Sonic Mega Collection, Call of Duty Finest Hour, Metroid Prime 1 and 2, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, Wave Race Blue Storm, Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, Smash Bros, Double Dash, tons of great games. Both these consoles had a lot of great Nintendo exclusives. The final round goes to the GameCube for not only having, honestly, better exclusives, but for having lots of third-party titles like Call of Duty. So, with a score of 2-3, the GameCube is superior to the Nintendo 64. Like this video if you enjoyed it, comment what you think is better, and please subscribe for more content about gaming, consoles, that sort of thing. I am the one and only Eagle Double T, signing off. Goodbye.